Welcome back to the Create One podcast. I am your host, Michael Real, and today we have special guest, and I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alyssa Velis, and thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. Can you let the audience know a little bit about yourself and what your business is?
Yeah, so basically, I have a online women's clothing boutique called Listique. People pronounce it wrong, but it's basically a twist on my name. So my name is Alyssa, so Liss and then boutique, Listique. So yeah.
Nice little play on words there.
Yeah. So yeah, I started my business back in April of 2019. So I'm about to hit my 1 year mark. So I'm super, super excited about that. And yeah, it's a great creative outlet for me. And I've just been learning and growing, and it's been really fun and a great experience so far.
That's good. And did you grow up in Southern California?
Yes, I did.
Where'd you grow up at?
Glendale,
In
California.
Glendale, California.
Yes.
How was it? How was it from the start of infancy of when you were just jotting ideas down and it now being what it is? Can you take us through the process of what that was like and maybe a little bit of backstory too on how it evolved into from where it was on paper somewhere until what it is now?
Yeah, so basically, before I even came up with, like, I want my own business, I was modeling. So I had wanted to be a model ever since I was young, but coming from the parents that I came from, they were very career driven for me. You got to go to college, you got to do this like a certain way, right? So it was never like, not that I wasn't given the opportunity, because that sounds really bad. Like, they just didn't want me to do it, but like they didn't encourage it. So it wasn't until like I was a little bit older and I could start making my own decisions that I was like, you know what? I want to start modeling. This is something I want to try. So I started working with different boutiques. I started modeling with, other small businesses. And during that process, I was like, wow, like here I am, modeling for other boutiques, and I got to kind of see like how they were doing it, how they were running their business and stuff like that. And I was like, why can't I do that for myself? Like I went to business school, so I did go to college, and I got a business administration degree. So I was like, why can't I do that? I could model for my own business, be the face of my brand. And at this time, I was also creating a little bit of a following, so I wanted something to like have a brand to represent me. And I love fashion, and like I said, I was already posting fashion stuff. So that's kind of where it came about. I was like, I could totally do this on my own. Like, why am I not making this a business for myself?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it came about. And then, honestly, research it was an idea, and I went running with it. Like, did so much research and Googled a lot of things, like what I need to get started. And I did have a little bit of a background. Like I said, I did go to business school. So that kind of helped me out a lot. But wholesale and all that was completely new to me. Like, I didn't know anything about it. So just really taking the time to research and looking at the certain things that I needed to get started. I want to say from the time that I had the idea to when I actually got things going, it probably took me about like 3 months. I remember I took some of my tax return, saved some of it, and bought like my first initial inventory with about, I want to say it was about like $700. And then from there, just went and started taking pictures. And
so how many people are on your team?
So it's me and my husband. And then
wow.
I do have friends that are also like fashion bloggers and stuff like that, help me like take pictures sometimes if we do like photo shoots and stuff. But mostly it's just me and my husband. I don't want to discredit him, but it's like shipping wise and all that is all me. But he helps me with like photos, all the technology stuff like that.
So it's a small circle that's what it's putting into place. So mainly you in the small circle that is getting things done.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You're taking the leap of faith.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
So that, give yourself 2 pats on the back for that.
Thank you. No, I really, really appreciate it. And I always say like teamwork makes the dream work. Because I do work a 9-to-5 job. So my business isn't the only thing I'm focusing on. Like, I take whatever hours I can to really grow it. So, for example, while I'm at, like, while I'm at work, my husband will go and pick up some inventory in downtown LA for me. And so he's definitely, he helps me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really, really thankful for him, and, to see where it goes.
How did he take it when you said like, oh, I want to start this brand. I want to start a boutique in a sense, an online e-commerce store. Like, how did he take it when you told him your initial goal to create this?
He's always been super, super supportive in anything that I want to try and anything that I want to like get into, dip my toes in. He's always been super, super supportive. He always tries to understand like why and like understand the bigger picture. And he knows that like I have a lot of creative in me, and I think we connect on a lot of aspects of that too. So he saw that it like was making me happy, modeling was making me happy. So he was like, you should be doing something that makes you happy. And he fully 100% supports it.
And then you told me that you have a son. How is that? How is having 9 to 5 husband, business, life in general? How do you balance those things?
I don't know. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's very difficult. It's very, very difficult. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's not all rainbows and butterflies. Like, I have a lot of days where, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. I can't do it. Or sometimes I'll be like judging myself like, oh, I'm not spending enough time with my son. Or I'm like, am I doing too many things at once? Should I be focusing on one thing? But I try to remind myself of the why, like the reason why I started, and that keeps me motivated is the why, So, I try to utilize the calendar as much as possible and really shape out that time to like dedicate to like being with my son on the weekends. I'll put him to bed and then stay up late shooting inventory, packing orders and all that, even though I'm so tired. I wake up like at 6:30 a.m. every day, get home by like 6 p.m., put him to bed by 8:30, and then, stay up and doing all those things. But honestly, it makes me so happy. Like, I don't care if I'm tired. I don't care. Like I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired, and I have to go to my job. But just knowing that I'm putting that time in, even if it's just an hour or two, those 1 or 2 hours is like fuels my purpose and fuels my passion so much that it's worth it, and I find any way to make the time.